I had to stop with the building of the walls. I first need to do the floor joist. I think that's how the logs that are used for the flooring are called. If that's not true, then please correct me. But if I'm not wrong, they are called floor joists. And I will do them in 2 rows. The first 3 will be sitting on the wall logs and on the foundation, and then another 7 logs will come 90 degrees to these 3 logs. And I think this way the foundation for the flooring will be really solid, and I hope to minimize the flexion of the logs in the middle. I really don't like if the floor has a lot of flexion and everything is vibrating when you walk. So my idea was that these first 3 logs sit on the wall and on the foundation at the end and also in the middle, and then the rest of the logs will come 90 degrees on these 3 logs, and hopefully that won't move anywhere. And also I've cut these 3 logs in the middle of the wall log, so they won't go out of the wall, because this log that will come on next will be quite challenging to scribe. As soon as you have more than just 2 logs to scribe, I will have here basically 5 logs to scribe into the next log, so the possibilities that I do some mistakes are that much greater and will be quite a challenge to scribe this next log. It's really interesting to me how everything comes together, and also in these first logs, I mean, you have to be careful and you have to do it as good as possible, but still there is room for small mistakes so that you learn on these first logs, and then later on you really have to be perfect. But you get the confidence and you see how to do the things. I will take these 3 plus another 4 logs to the local sawmill. I need just one side of the log to be flat so that the flooring will sit nicely on, and I don't want to do it with a chainsaw. To do 7 logs, I think it would take me a lot of time, plus it would be really hard to do it perfectly flat. To do this, I decided to take the logs to the local sawmill. It's just a kilometer away from here, and I'm sure that it will be done perfectly flat, so that I won't have any problems later on with the flooring. I can already feel a big difference in the weight of the logs. They are much drier and lighter, but still it was really hard to lift them up by hand on the dolly. It's quite complicated putting these logs in level because each log is different shape, and also these 3 logs below are not flat, are all full of bumps and curves. So I have to make a custom fit for each log to put it in level. If I would have beams flat on all sides, it would be so easy. I would just put them on and they would be in level. But I think this way it looks much better and more natural with the rest of the log house. My goal is to process the wood as little as possible and keeping the full logs. I have to drop this side down by 12 centimeters and the other side by 9. So the log in center has to be somewhere in the middle, around 10.5, and then I will see when it sits down if I have to correct something or it's right. Today I forgot the helmet with the protection for the eyes and the ears, and the wind is constantly blowing directly into my face. It's absolutely horrible to work with a chainsaw. Everything is flying directly into my eyes, and I don't know how I was able to work so many years without using any ear or eye protection. I can see now how much difference it makes. It's almost impossible to work and be focused on what you're doing because you have to keep your eyes almost closed, and it gets pretty dangerous. I highly recommend using it because it truly makes a big difference. And I can say this because I worked for many years without using it. I always thought that it doesn't make such a difference, but now after I got used to it, and just after a few months, I have a really hard time to even work without it. And every time when I cut the notches and then when I roll the log is like the moment of truth. I already hear by the sound when it rolls over if all the ends sit down nicely or if there are some gaps. If it falls down like this log and it blocks right away without any bouncing, then usually this means that the notches are cut good and all 3 points touch at the same time. Otherwise the log would be bouncing to one side. The last log for the floor joist is in place and everything is fine. All the logs are in level, and it was quite a challenge to get the logs in level, as each log is completely different size and shape. I've spent some time really making sure that I don't cut something too much or I don't do any mistakes, but still I've done the floor joist a lot faster than what I expected. It took me only 3 days. I thought I will need maybe 2 weeks, but I don't know, it went really quick. Even if I didn't rush anything and I took a lot of time for each log, still 3 days I think is really fast for the floor joist. And now that I have the floor joist, I can continue up with the walls. I was not able to continue because these first 3 logs for the floor joist go through the walls, and I had to first do this to then be able to go up with the walls. And under the last video I saw a lot of suggestions for the tools for the grinder, and some tools that would make cutting the notches out easier than with the chainsaw. In the previous days I got the metal plate for the grinder. I will try it in the next days and I will see if it's better than with the chainsaw, or I have no idea how it will work. I'm pretty excited to try that tool. And also I've seen a lot of suggestions for all kind of tools, and that I should get chain blocks and I don't know, a lot of things. I'm thankful for all those suggestions. I took a look at most of the tools. I mean, they are all great tools. I'm pretty sure that they would help me with the work, but unfortunately I don't have that much money to afford every tool that I would need. And in my opinion that's a good thing, because it really pushes me to think out of the box to do certain things. Otherwise I would just do them, and in my opinion it would be pretty boring to be able to do anything just right away without thinking much. I really like when I have to think and my brain has to work to come up with the solutions when I don't have the right tools for a certain job. And I think that's a great way to develop creative thinking and coming up with all kind of solutions. Because I see today many people, as soon as you face them with a task that they never done before, they don't know how to handle it, because most of the time they have everything served at their plate, and I don't know, I'm just not that type of person. I like the challenge, I like coming up with my ideas. Also with the floor joist, I was not able to find any good information how to do it, so I just came up with my solution, and I'm pretty sure there are even better ways to do it, but that's what I came up with this time. Next time I will know what I didn't like about it when I did it now, so I will improve that, and every time I improve something, even with the notches. With every next notch that I do, I see what I could have done better. It's the best to start with the minimum resources and tools, and then slowly getting what you need. That way I think you appreciate a lot more what you have, because if you start already having everything, then you don't really appreciate what you have. But that's just my opinion and how I see things. And I know each person has their beliefs and how things should be done. And that's also why this world is so beautiful, because there's a lot of different and unique people. If everyone would have done the log house or whatever we are doing the same, then I think the world would be so boring, pretty much without any progression, because you progress and you learn new things when you think out of the box and when you try new things. You should really never be scared to think out of the box and do something differently than how everyone else does it. I think the flexion is pretty minimal, and of course it's wood, so it's always gonna bounce a bit. And this center log that is also resting on the foundation in the middle, I think makes all the difference. Without this log, I think there would be so much flexion in the middle just with these top logs. This next wall log and the first log that I will do the full scribe will be one of the most challenging ones, because I don't have just 2 logs that are going through it, but I have another 3 logs from the floor joist that go through this wall log, and that is going to be a big challenge. At least for me, that I've never done a full scribe before, and already having 5 logs going through it and getting a nice fit on all 5 logs, I think it's going to be really hard. I'll finish it here for today, and I will think good about how to do this. I really don't want to make a big mistake. I will end this video and I will leave this for the next episode. It's going to be quite interesting seeing how this log will fit and how I will do these notches. So thanks to everyone for watching. I wish I would be able to produce more videos more frequently, but the work is not that it's going really slow, but I'm really thinking a lot and making sure that I don't do some mistakes, because that would cost me even more time, and at the end with rushing I would just lose time, even more time than taking it slow and making sure that everything is done good. But yeah, I'm really happy with the floor joist. And also another thing that I'm really happy about is that all the support cables from the lift were not in the way for the floor joist, because when I designed the cables and everything of the lift, I forgot about the floor joist coming so closely to the cables. But I don't know, somehow everything came out perfectly in the end. I couldn't be any happier with how everything is going. From now on the walls should be going up much faster. Now I don't have to worry about anything else anymore. I can focus completely on the walls. And if I do 1 log in a day, I have to do around 45 logs, I'm not really sure right now. That should take me maximum, with bad weather and everything, around 2 months to come up with the walls. But to be real, I think it will take me around 3 months. Thanks again and again to everyone that's watching my videos, that comments, that suggests something, for all the suggestions about the tools and just everything in previous videos, and everyone that subscribed to my channel and is sharing my videos or showing love and appreciation for what I'm doing. I also appreciate beyond the words all the love and everything that I receive towards my videos. All the energy and time that everyone spends to watch my videos and comment something or whatever. Maybe if you enjoy my videos and you are not already subscribed to the channel, it would mean a lot if you subscribe, and it's just a small way to support what I'm doing. But yeah, that's pretty much all for now. I wish everyone an amazing day, and I will see you in the next episode.